Islam is one of the fastest-growing religions in the world, and Asia is home to the largest Muslim population. In several Asian countries, Islam is expanding due to high birth rates, conversions, migration, and increasing religious awareness. The growth of Islam in these nations is shaping their social, political, and cultural landscapes. In this video, we will explore 10 Asian countries where Islam is growing rapidly, examining the factors driving this expansion and its impact on each nation. 1. India. India has the second-largest Muslim population in the world, and Islam is growing rapidly despite being a Hindu-majority country. The primary reason for this growth is the high birth rate among Muslim communities. Unlike some other religions in India, Islam has retained strong religious traditions, and Muslim families generally have more children. Additionally, Islam is spreading among lower caste Hindus and marginalized groups who seek a sense of equality and social justice within the faith. Despite political and religious tensions, India's Muslim population is expected to surpass that of Indonesia by 2050, making it the world's largest Muslim-majority country. 2. Pakistan. Pakistan was established as a Muslim nation in 1947, but Islam continues to grow due to high birth rates and increased religious consciousness. Over the past few decades, there has been a rise in Islamic education, with more people attending religious schools, madrasas, and following Islamic practices more strictly. The influence of political Islam has also strengthened, with many laws and policies being shaped by Islamic principles. Additionally, the migration of Muslims from other regions, including Afghanistan, has contributed to the rising number of Muslims in Pakistan. This rapid growth has led to ongoing debates about religious conservatism and modernity within Pakistani society. 3. Bangladesh. Islam in Bangladesh is expanding due to a combination of demographic factors and increasing religious awareness. The country has a young and growing population, with most people identifying as Muslim. In recent years, there has been a revival of Islamic practices, including the construction of new mosques, the spread of Islamic banking, and a greater emphasis on religious education. Social movements promoting Islamic values have gained popularity, especially among the younger generation. While Bangladesh maintains a secular government, Islam's influence in daily life continues to grow, shaping the nation's cultural and social identity. 4. Indonesia. Indonesia is the world's largest Muslim-majority country, and Islam is growing rapidly due to high birth rates and religious resurgence. Although Islam has been part of Indonesian culture for centuries, recent decades have seen a rise in religious awareness, with more people observing Islamic practices such as wearing the hijab, attending prayers, and following Islamic law in business and finance. Islamic organizations and political parties are gaining influence, and there is an increasing demand for Sharia-compliant policies. While Indonesia is known for its moderate form of Islam, the rise of conservative movements is changing the religious landscape. 5. Malaysia. Malaysia is witnessing significant Islamic growth, driven by government policies promoting Islamic values and increasing religious awareness among the population. The Malaysian government actively supports Islamic finance, halal industries, and religious education, making Islam a central part of national identity. Additionally, the influence of Islamic scholars and movements has led to a revival of Islamic practices, with more people engaging in religious studies and adopting conservative lifestyles. Although Malaysia is a multi-religious country, the dominance of Islam continues to strengthen, shaping laws, social norms, and governance. 6. The Philippines. Islam is growing in the Philippines, particularly in the southern region of Mindanao, where the Bangsamoro Autonomous Region has been established to grant greater self-governance to Muslims. The growth of Islam is fueled by high birth rates among Muslim communities, increased religious awareness, and efforts to promote Islamic education. In addition to natural growth, there is also a rise in conversions to Islam, especially among indigenous groups seeking a connection to their historical roots. The increasing presence of mosques, Islamic schools, and religious programs has strengthened the Muslim identity in the Philippines, despite the country being predominantly Christian. 7. China. Islam in China is experiencing growth, particularly among the Hui and Uyghur Muslim communities. Despite government restrictions on religious practices, Islam continues to spread due to demographic growth and strong cultural traditions. In provinces like Xinjiang, Ningxia, and Gansu, Muslim populations are expanding, and younger generations are embracing their Islamic heritage. The construction of new mosques and the influence of Islamic education have played a role in strengthening religious identity. However, the growth of Islam in China also faces challenges, including government policies that limit religious freedoms and cultural expression. Despite these obstacles, Islam remains an integral part of China's diverse religious landscape. 8. Thailand. In Thailand, Islam is growing rapidly, especially in the southern provinces of Pattani, Yala, and Narathiwat, where there is a significant Muslim population. The expansion of Islam is driven by high birth rates among Muslim families and increasing interest in Islamic education. Many Muslims in Thailand are strengthening their religious identity by adopting Islamic dress, attending religious schools, and participating in Islamic finance. Additionally, there has been a rise in conversions to Islam among certain ethnic minorities. Despite being a Buddhist majority country, Thailand has seen an increase in the construction of mosques and Islamic institutions, reflecting the growing presence of Islam. 9. Russia. Russia, particularly in regions like Tatarstan, Chechnya, and Dagestan, is witnessing rapid Islamic growth. The Muslim population in Russia is increasing due to high birth rates among Muslim communities and migration from Central Asian countries such as Uzbekistan, Tajikistan, and Kyrgyzstan. Islam has a long history in Russia, and in recent years, there has been a revival of religious practices, with more people attending mosques and following Islamic traditions. The Russian government has recognized this growth by supporting Islamic education and allowing greater religious expression in certain regions. If current trends continue, Islam is projected to become Russia's second-largest religion within the next few decades. 10. Kazakhstan. Islam is experiencing a revival in Kazakhstan after decades of suppression under Soviet rule. Since gaining independence in 1991, there has been a surge in religious awareness, with the construction of new mosques, the establishment of Islamic schools, and the growth of Islamic banking. Many Kazakhs are reconnecting with their Islamic heritage, and younger generations are increasingly adopting religious practices. The government, while maintaining secular policies, has allowed greater religious freedom, leading to a rise in Islamic activism and scholarship. With the expansion of Islamic influence in daily life, Kazakhstan is becoming an important center of Islam in Central Asia. Islam's growth in Asia is driven by a combination of demographic trends, religious revival movements, and migration. In countries like India, Pakistan, Bangladesh, and Indonesia, high birth rates contribute to the rising Muslim population, while in places like China, Russia, and Thailand, Islam is expanding through conversions and cultural resurgence. As Islam continues to shape the social, political, and economic landscapes of these nations, its influence will remain a defining force in Asia's future. The diversity of Islamic practices across the continent highlights the adaptability of the religion, ensuring its continued expansion in the coming years.